myself, and then we have Brandon and Tracy as well.
Brandon and Tracy are behind the camera right now. We'll get them to poking eventually.
Running the show, making sure everything goes on without a hitch.
We told them throw some fireworks during the show at us.
Yeah.
Catch M80s. Just don't. We have to make sure your hand's not closed so you lose fingers. It's very, very important.
Yeah, and I mean we're here. Like it's been what? How long for you, Dan?
18 months at least.
18 months. Like
I mean, I've been collecting my whole life, but from start to finish.
Yeah.
But we're not finished.
We're not there.
We're not.
I mean,
not even close.
No. Like we have so many more plans beyond like just the VHS that we have right now and the betas that we're doing. You know, we'll tease them throughout this live stream, and then we'll tease it going into the rest of this year. Like there's so much more to look forward to from Rewind. It's not just tapes, and these are awesome. Like I've come in through this project about halfway through into the last quarter, and like it's exciting to see this. Like we've seen it come alive from being just on the screen, just to being like drawings, to now like we have a product. Like we have a physical encapsulation that has tapes. We have it's just super exciting.
And we don't take that lightly. You know, the term encapsulation, as a collector, you know, we've seen a lot of people try to do this. We think, obviously, that we've done VHS justice here, and we know how important it is. It's not just about values, it's about people's collections. It's so important that, you know, when you get a tape that, I know myself, I damage things. Like when we're just at home and stuff like that, I love getting my stuff encapsulated. I've been a fan of the graded collectibles for over a decade. I used to get CGC Comics done, other companies, and I'd always have complaints. And like most of us do, lead times, communication, and through a friend and seeing the market just blooming for VHS, I thought we can do better. We can do better for the community. And that was the mission that I started, and now that we're on. And after 18 months, it's amazing to be here with a product that I'm confident in, that we could be, you know, keep the safe and the main thing, preserve. I mean, it's really preserving history of home media.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we want to do. Like, we know people out there have their collections that they're really proud of having and owning, and you know, people out there have spent time. You spent your time, your energy, and we're here to help provide more information of maybe directions for new collectors, like people who are maybe new to the hobby, who want some ideas of like what should I collect. You know, we'll in time put out that information on the 5-star collections from CBS Fox, like the first prints from they're good.
Good one.
They're my personal favorite. I like you see the star.
I love the years that like they have different releases.
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 different releases of those over a span of 3 or 4 years, and you can date the tape nice and easily. That makes it a bit easier for the the authentication part of it, for sure.
But that's some of the great research that's gone into this, because there was, I mean, just countless hours of going through old trade magazines, newspapers, and finding articles, ads that shine more light than I think that's previously been in the hobby sometimes. And with that being said, we're going to put out articles and knowledge past what you see on labels. You know, it's really important for a hobby to thrive. It needs knowledge, and knowledge is everything. Why is this important? You know, and we don't designate 2 things, which press it is, and also prices, because sometimes if you could have 99.9% of the stuff right, but if you get it wrong, you can never change the label. So it's important for us to put all the information on there, and it's while we're confident that we know every tape, first print, second print, third, you know, it's important that we let it. It's a never-ending journey for this knowledge.
Yeah, exactly, and the information on the label will give hints to its year. So, for instance, we put the year on box. Like, that is the date you will see on that tape is a date you can find on that box somewhere. And there is, like, small occasions where they don't have dates, and it will be the release year, and that will be explained.
And it's the latest date. We want to make sure that the last date on that box is what's actually put on there. We know some of our competitors put dates of theatrical on the front, and we thought, you know, we never want any of this to be confusing for someone that looks at the label. You know, we want to make sure that It is truthful. Everything in the front that, we could do the best job of, even when it comes down to betas, we mark it on the top beta. We'll grab a beta in a minute. And it's important that the year in box is specifically, is very accurate.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they designate their collection based on those dates, and we don't want to provide false information or misleading information on when the theatrical release was, but actually that tape didn't have a first print until 4 years later. We don't want that to happen. It's important that everybody is open and honest, and we provide the best information that we can about any tape
at any time. That's the thing, because we learn so much every day. I mean, the thing is, you'll never can stop on this mission to learn more. So the good thing is, one thing you'll notice is actually on the side we have a QR code. Now, right now it goes to the website and it's all specific links. Now, in time, what it does, it takes you to that specific variant, and it'll give you every detail up to date with that. And that's what the QR system's about. It's really important for us. It already works, but we want to actually in time develop that to be very specific to the exact variant and every piece of that. Also, let's show a little bit about the label.
Yep.
I mean, this has been a lot goes into making a label like this, because we have these professionally printed, and then we get to put all the information on there after of what's different on each tape. So you get the grade, you get the seal grade. We did a 10-point box grade, and it's very common in the hobby. We felt, why change something that everyone enjoys? With seal grading, it's different, right? It's a lot of other ones, I like them, didn't love them, and I thought we can do better, and that's everything I looked at we looked at, is like, how do we innovate? Sometimes it's already the best we think it can be. Seal grade, we did a 5-point system by halves, so you can get a 5-star, 4.5-star, 4-star, and it works. I mean, most reviews are out of 5 stars, so it just naturally, we felt that was the right way of doing it. And like this tape right here is a 3.5. So in time, people will see the consistency of the grading, that when we do something like a 3.5, you're gonna notice the same common similar defects. And that's really important, because consistency, you want to know, if you're buying one of these off someone else, what it means, right? If it has a hole the size of a quarter, it can't get more than a 3.5. I mean, we will be putting out more stuff that's absolutes, because it's important that you understand grading, right? That's something, myself, as being a collector, I have stuff still at VGA today. I mean, we're not going to sit here and talk negative about competition, because they innovate and improve the hobby, and we think that's a great thing. But drill holes. Drill holes are common. That's a debate that we've had lots of times. Why is there drill holes? The most realistic answer that we know of is promotional, and also overstock. If a distributor had a deal with a store, and the store ends up returning it, being like, we couldn't sell it, and we had a deal to get $5 back per tape, it's not uncommon for them to, record stores would clip the corners, scratch the barcodes. Betas, our assumption is the drill hole.
Yeah, that would happen often, where you might have a VHS box that they then move to a beta box, and they just put some stickers on it. And it's interesting to see all these things come together. And when we have a beta in hand, we can show you how the tape sits and how the label looks. And we love their VHS box. Like, when we first saw a tape in the VHS case, in the encapsulation, we loved it. And then we got the beta, and I think some of us in the office are going to start becoming beta collectors.
Tracy, can we get the Raging Bull over there? Well, we want to show one of the betas. We don't have it on the table. I realized we made a mistake. How do we talk about beta? I mean, we have a Halloween beta here.
Yeah.
But we don't have an encapsulation.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you can step in.
So this is...
the camera doesn't bite.
This is our Raging Bull.
Yep.
And it just...
Correction, it's my Raging Bull. Yeah. That's my tape, and there's a difference. Rewind owns no graded tapes. That's important, because we don't have some collection we're trying to say. I have a handful of tapes. I enjoy the hobby, but the difference with our competition is, not all competition, but some competition, is it's not short term, it's long term. Oh, thank you very much. Meaning, there's no collection to sell off. You know, really, we entered this for the right reasons, to do justice to the tapes.
Yeah.
And
to collectors, like, that's a big part, is not just providing the encapsulation, which obviously is what everybody's wanting to see, is how beautiful it looks, but also that extra service of, you can phone us and we are here. Like, somebody will pick up the phone and answer your questions. You can email us, you can reach out on social media. Like, we want you to engage with us and let us know your feedback and how you feel about things, because that helps everybody improve, like, not just us, but like improve the community, and making sure that the tapes that we're putting out there and we're encapsulating, like, we believe in.
Yeah, and we believe we always can do better. Even if we're doing the best product that you're like, hey, it can't get any better, we always can do better. So don't hesitate. We don't take, you know, constructive criticism is important.
Be nice.
Well, you know what? People has criticism, that's cool too. And that's important. And we've done a soft launch. It's funny because you'll see tapes out there today. We had people that I consider friends and such. They sent in tapes that we got to go through this process to make sure that the process was perfect. Well, not perfect, but as close as perfect as we can get to. Yeah. And that was, so we got through the little hiccups, you know, no matter what, we had to get through those. So we'd rather do it on people that at least can tell me to our face and, you know,
be honest
before social media. You know, like social people go to social media, but you know, we learned a lot, and you know, we even made changes that will be coming in upcoming weeks, and we're going to keep improving. You know, we can't promise that we're perfect now. Yeah. But we can promise that we're striving for perfection.
Always. And, you know, right now we are only dealing in sealed tapes. It is only sealed VHS.
And slipcase.
And so always with the plastic on at the moment. And in the future, you know, we
are trying to get to open box this year. Now, we don't want to make promises. There's a lot on the plate. There's music, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But that's a bigger conversation. But we are trying to do as much as possible for not just the sealed community, but the whole community. And, you know, the other thing is, if you're listening in right now and you're not a sealed collector and you think it's a sham, you think it's whatever, we want to hear from you. It's so important that the knowledge for the tapes is the most important thing. Like, you never have to grade with us for us to care about your opinion and your perspective. Like, it's okay if you don't want to get stuff graded, but, you know, your perspective matters. And that's why I think, you know, we're not going to try to tell people how to collect. Now, people that want to know, we have great directions of, you know, if it's magnetic and showing people the coolness of to some of these things. But we're just here to help, you know. And so first off, the Beta and the VHS. If you look at the top, up here it says Beta. Here it says VHS, and I think that's important because I know myself.
We can do a close-up. Right.
Oh, you want to?
Ready to do a close-up?
I wasn't sure if I was allowed to leave. Yeah, and then I'll come in with the.
There we go. I think it might be backwards.
Yeah,
on the stream.
Here's the VHS. So
you understand what we're getting at there.
As a collector myself, and seeing these type of items on eBay and auction houses, it's important that right away you can designate the difference, because sometimes in a picture, you know, the boxes of a Beta can look the exact same. You know, you only could tell on the sides usually with a sticker or such. And it's important that the more we can help people just understand what's encapsulated and what's there, the quicker, the better.
Yeah, exactly. So, we don't want it to be like ambiguous. We want it to be like, here's the facts. Here's what it is, and it's plain to see. There's nothing hidden there. There's nothing that's going to make people confused. And as Dan mentioned earlier, the QR code is going to be great for going into the future. We're going to start adding more information there about the tape, about that movie. We might even start putting more information on how many tapes of that type have been graded, or whatever, the different variants that exist out there that we've found. You know, it's so important that this information is there. And yeah, it looks pretty.
Well, I want to show the library view. You know, this is, I've seen when people recently came out with encapsulations, and sometimes I feel they miss the collector part, and that's part of it. How do you display your collection? Yeah. Now, we all love seeing the front, but we know when you collect a lot of these, it's so important to be able to, one, that they're thin as possible, but you could see the title and the grade on the side. And as a collector myself, I look at how I think everyone else is going to want to have their collection. So we've done so many things that we still have to show you that is towards that. Like, it's so important that people not just enjoy their collection, but the whole experience of Rewind is not just the final product. What about the boxes? I'm jumping around, but
no, I mean, when somebody, if you just order one tape from us, it'll come in this nice box.
It's a beautiful box.
Beautiful box.
Okay, it looks like just a white box right now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm QVC. Like,
yeah,
what's inside the box?
So you have our Rewind logo, and you open it up, and boom,
your
your tape. This is how it mails to you.
Yeah.
And the thing is, one of the thoughts could be, well, wouldn't your tape get damaged? This is made out of polycarbonate. Yeah. Same material as bulletproof. Pretty much the same.
Bulletproof glass. They use polycarbonate plastics in that.
This is solid, And the thing is, it's going to take, it could take a hit. So we've not had. This is where the soft launch. We sent these out. Yeah. People loved it, and it's very important that experience of opening up your first tape after you've spent money and waited weeks to get it.
Yeah.
It's a good one, and you also, the beautiful thing is, next time you ship out a tape, you have a box.
And if you decide that you ship more than one tape, we have a nice big box that is already separated so that each tape has its own little space.
And we've had people love these so far. It's, all these have to be custom done. We spend, a lot of money to make sure that experience is top notch. That when you get a box of 10 tapes, that fits up to 10 in our boxes, it's safe, but also you're going to want to use those boxes going forward, in my opinion.
Yeah. And somebody was just asking a question there, if the tape is secured with a blister. It is. There is a blister inside of here. That's what gives it its nice the view of how it floats there with like the unobstructed view. If you head on to our Instagram as well after this, if you go to the feed, you'll see more like close-ups of tapes. And that's also a service we provide. We can do a photo shoot with your encapsulated tape, and we will send you the high-quality images.
Should we spoil a thing about the gifts?
I guess
Today we are going to, everyone that so far has submitted something, and I think in the first month we're going to do this.
Yeah, I think so.
Is every time you submit tapes, one of your tapes, you'll get a GIF of your tape of a 360-degree imagery that you could post on social media or whatever you want to do. And we do professional photos here, and not just, we have a nice camera. We have machinery. It's great. It's beautiful. Yeah. And later today, the people that were a part of the soft launch, you will be getting your gifts later today. So, it's about that experience. It's not just, hey, the final product. It's everything around it. It's everything around VHS. Because, a lot of things is, I grew up with VHS when I was young. I remember, going to my local, store. Oh, sorry, I can't say store.
Did you not work in a Blockbuster?
I did work at a Blockbuster.
Yeah.
That is actually why I started. Just kidding. That's not why I started this.
Way back then.
I actually know every printing because I worked at Blockbuster. No, I'm just kidding. No, I did work at a Blockbuster when I was a teenager. By then, it was mostly DVD, though, to be honest. So, but before that, we had our local rental store, and I remember my dad would tell us when we were very, that you'd have to like get a membership to rent. You'd have to pay like $500 to rent the sometimes even the VCR and the movies. Yeah. These were expensive. That's what a lot of people don't realize about the history of cinema. Yeah. When these came out, it was like $80 or $90 back then. So like imagine with inflation, that's what, $300?
About $300-$400.
Yeah, I mean,
for one tape.
One tape. So you better love that freaking movie. Like you better fucking love that movie because that's a good amount of money. So it's crazy because we know that people that are in this hobby already know how scarce the early stuff is. I mean, really, when you're starting to get to the before 85, I believe, the stuff that costs a lot of money. There's no reason they should have stayed sealed.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's no reason why a VHS, a Meta Halloween, why we haven't seen one, right? The community, as far as I know, has seen a sealed one. Yeah. And for people that don't know, Halloween, the movie that came out in 1977, first it was labeled, the company was Meta, and then it became Media in 78. So it only had that 1 year window. No one's seen a sealed one. And that is a testament to some of the rarity of the early stuff. Yeah.
And I think that's...
Oh, and I'll show mine. This is my CIB copy. And this is a Halloween Meta.
I was wondering where it was. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I was worried. This is and that is the first print of Halloween. And it's pretty cool.
Oh, I love going down. I have a lot of CIBs because I just, it was fun to go down the rabbit hole and kind of got sucked in.
So at the moment, we are only accepting case types that are slip sleeve, side load. This would be your Ghostbusters, your classic Ghostbusters with the raised logo. This is a side load case, so we accept that. We also accept gatefolds.
Beta.
And beta size.
Small.
So those types of size, types of box as beta, we accept those as well.
We are developing the other blisters. It's not that we haven't been planning this for a while, but these processes take a long time. What we have, we could say what's next on the. Yeah. We have a mold being made currently for MGM.
And
then there's the side. Not the.
Let me see. These ones, the drawer box and MGM.
Yeah, so these are the next two on
the cards.
Yeah, and this will be done in the next, I'm hoping 12 weeks or so. I hate putting any dates out there. It was kind of like the start of Rewind.
Yeah.
Some people knew I was on this mission for about over a year ago. It takes time. It's not even money. It literally just takes time these companies are busy, and some injection moldings has taken us over a year, some blisters 6 months. So
and we want to make sure that the product we're putting out today, we are happy with. The time that we have spent has been so valuable in perfecting the blister, making sure it looks good in the case, making sure the label fits beautifully inside the top of the blister. I don't think we mentioned that, but the label does sit inside the blister.
Yeah.
So
hovering effect.
Hovering, yeah. It just looks like it's all floating there. And it's all, again, in the tamper-evident polycarbonate, where there's tabs that will break if you try and tamper with it.
And we broke them.
We've tested it.
I mean, that's the thing, and it's a very difficult thing to make something that doesn't. We're not using glue to seal these, right? These had to be made so specifically that these tabs don't break going in, but they break going out. And they're very deliberately broken, and it's such a testament to how important collectibles are.
Yeah.
Because we could have done acrylic, we could have just put in a case, slap a grade on it, but there's so much more that's gone into this. I mean, I couldn't be happier. Before I forget, I got to thank a few people. Besides Callum, obviously, he's been rock solid. Brandon, Tracy in the office. I mean, you guys will get to, I'm sure, meet them through time if you call the office. Just please don't curse them out. No, I'm just kidding. But I gotta say thank you to Jeremy Smith. If it wasn't for him, this idea it started with a phone call from one collector to another talking about this hobby. Who else is there? Ethan, you're always great. Huskinson, thank you. I'm sure I'm missing a few people, but thank you everyone in the community, because that's what this is about. It's that journey. It's not even the specific items.
Yeah.
It's that excitement when you wake up and you don't know what you're gonna find on that hunt, and who you're gonna be. You find some of your best friends, who are looking for similar things, and sometimes you guys go different paths, but because they're such good people in the hobby, they stay with you, even though you might not be collecting the same thing. So. And that's what it is. It's about collectors, and about doing justice to collectibles. And, we're open forever now. That's it. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, all this time is built up to this day. And it is amazing to see, how ready we are. We have everything prepared for you to send your tapes. Even if it's 1, if it's 10, if it's 100, we can handle it. We've got the capabilities to go through many tapes.
And I said it before, if people have heard a live with me before, that we weren't going to open this till we could do 100 a day, and that's what we can do, and that's what's going to make the lead times. That's where we got to learn from other companies that have run into these problems, because all the companies during the pandemic had backlogs, but we've built this for scale, and more than we could explain. I mean, every little piece in this office is built that we can handle it, and it's important that we keep that quality to top notch.
That's the important part, is that every stage of our process is very scalable, but also our processes are so rock solid that no matter how many tapes we're going through, no matter how many people we have the quality is always there. Like it's almost like the integrity of Rewind.
Oh, it's doing justice for collectors, right? Like we know how important that item is and like how much it means to you. So that's where we want when it's preserving. I mean, it is preserving. It's making it something that you feel better having it at your house now or in your office.
Yeah. So this is what we have. This is what you can get right now.
Yep. Go to rewindgrading.com. That's the website. Rewind Grading. The process is very, very easy.
Yeah.
If you have important part, if you see anything you want changed, message us because you know what, we want to hear about it. And there's a lot we're going to be doing in the next month. We're never not getting better.
Yeah, so we're always innovating, as Dan said way back in the start. Like we want to make this like the best it can be, and we only will get better. Like with time, with like input, we will only ever get. And
I think we're pretty much amazing already.
I mean, I think so.
I mean, I feel that way, but like I also know every day it's not what we've done; it's what we can do. So with that, we're going to talk about music. I mean, we're going to jump around a bit, but. This is a prototype, and here's another one. This is a cassette prototype, and that's a CD prototype. We should be having samples this week.
Hopefully, yeah.
The goal is 12 weeks or so for music, I think, to launch. We're not exactly, we kind of know what the launch is looking like, but we're going to keep that a little secret. But
we'll say the first quarter of this year is our plan.
By the end of the first quarter. We're doing everything we can, sometimes with our manufacturing and stuff. Some of these things just take longer, and the important thing is that when it's ready, it's like today with VHS. Once we're open. So, we have systems in place to make sure that you get the experience you deserve.
Yeah. You want to talk about the kind of tapes that we'll accept? Yeah,
you know what? Right now, pretty much most tapes we will accept, just not doubles. So All Eyes on Me, that's a Tupac album, and some of the doubles, but singles like pretty much
regulars, like a standard size jewel case is what we'll accept. But again, these will be also in blisters with the same style of label. One thing that we're really focusing on is is making sure our labels are fairly standard across our range so that you can easily identify that's Rewind graded. You'll see it and you'll be like, okay, that's Rewind. Even before you look at anything else, you can then have a little bit of comfort there knowing that it's been graded and authenticated by us, and it's certainly by us.
Yeah. Well, that's the important thing is like
we are everybody in the office here. We are all part of Rewind, and we're not shy.
Well, I forgot to mention Frank.
Oh, and Frank as well.
Frank's Frank's like one of my favorite people on this planet. So
me and Frank have spoken for hours on end, talking about the intricacies of how to.
Frank Farina, the man. Literally, Frank's is I don't think anyone I've ever met has ever could say a negative thing about Frank.
Oh,
he's just the nicest, most supportive person.
It's fantastic.
And his passion for Beta. I mean, he on Instagram he's Beta to the max, and thank you, Frank. Honestly, you've been a rock, and he's our lead researcher. He is amazing person. More importantly, amazing person.
Yeah, and that's one thing here. That's the kind of culture we have here, is surrounding ourselves by amazing people with a passion for collectibles, for grading, for just making a product that has some integrity, that has some,
it has a soul.
Has a soul, yeah. We are the soul. Like everybody here, everybody who's part of the community, everybody who sent tapes, that is, you are also part of Rewind. We want this community to have this positive feel and understanding that we're all here for the greater good.
Yeah, I mean that's it's hard because we know it's parts of it can be speculative markets and stuff, and I support markets that people can buy and sell. I love doing that myself, but Rewind in itself is the core of it. Is to stay away from values and focus on just doing what we're supposed to do, right? And the thing we're supposed to do is enrich the community and our collectors. And the thing is, we want to do best for you, so don't hesitate. It's so important that you reach out, that you feel free, that if you want to see something, let us know. If you have any questions, you know, cassettes we are loving. I love them. I got into collecting cassettes, and the thing with music, it's not been a short. It's not like, oh, we decided 3 months ago we want to do music. Yeah. I've been on this path for, I think, just about as long as VHS, but you know, doing them both. I didn't want to mention anything with music at the time because I wanted to get it right. And honestly, I thought we were gonna have it all done about 4 months ago. Yeah. So,
and same with VHS, always sealed. In the beginning, we're always just doing sealed. And in future, we're going to look at CIDs.
The goal is always to do everything. Yeah. And not just because, oh, you want to just do everything. No, it's because we want every collector to feel like we have a service that they can use, but also that they're included. That's really important. Yeah. So a few things. Yeah, we'll go over that. First, early stuff of cassettes are really dope. The Ampex tapes, amazing. Some people call them snap cases. Paper labels and such. They're just amazing. I've enjoyed these. Let's go over the CDs. I almost dropped that.
Yeah. That one's not sealed.
Early Green Day. Brandon Lay. The first print actually had, it's not Elmo, it's Ernie on the back. I'm trying to see, here's an import where, let me show you this real quick. So the second print is such, there's a story here, there's no Ernie there. Boom, Ernie. But basically, the story goes, as far as we know, is that they were afraid of being sued, so they took the Ernie off the back, and that's where the first print had it, and later prints didn't. And a one that many people don't know, T-Swizzle, Taylor Swift. Yeah. You could usually know by the sticker. The reason what happened here was they removed some lyrics from the booklet inside, because there was something wrong she didn't like. And the ones with 11 tracks on the back is the first print as far as we know it.
Yeah.
Now again, we don't designate first prints, but we do love collectibles and we share the knowledge that we...
Yeah. And again, like with music, with VHS, with movies, with whatever medias we end up going into, we'll always provide as much information as we can on like areas of collecting. And we want people to, like, part of the joy of collecting is like finding out that information. So yeah, we're going to provide as much as we can, but there's still going to be like those little nuggets that change the year of a tape, or change maybe even the month that tape came out. Did it come out at the end of a year, beginning of a year? And that's like the joy for some people in the collecting, is the finding out of information.
And we want to collaborate with you on that. That's so important. Like even myself, and I come the last few years as video game collecting, and I would try to make guides as an outsider in, just because I found the knowledge so important. And with these verticals, don't hesitate to reach out. You know, we want more articles out. If you think you're an expert and you want to write an article with us, we would love to work with you. Yeah. I mean, it's important that it's a community effort to get knowledge right and out there. So one thing we didn't mention is CDs. We won't be just doing any CDs, because before '94 they didn't have the plastic wrap. In the beginning, we will only be doing ones with the title strip, which is the white strip at the top.
Sure. White title strip. B. Okay, there we go. So the white title strip at the top there.
Price points for CDs and cassettes will be. Let's just say they're gonna be under $50.
Yes.
Well, fuck it. Okay. Fuck it. $35 is gonna be the starting price.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't be showing our cards, but to me, it's important that I can't lie to who asked a question. I mean, right. My thing is with all these, it's like, how do we get it as cheap as possible? We're gonna start at $35, and that way, to me, it's about. You don't even have to think about it. You just probably want to send them, because also we understand that we're starting collecting in some of these in a graded fashion, and we want people to enjoy it. It's not about, the whole thing with Rewind is not what we can take, but what we can give.
Exactly.
You know, because that's so much we see in collecting. That's what drove me to start this, is you see so much, a company takes the money and they just don't innovate or change. They just take the money. We're looking at every which way to give back.
Yeah,
you know.
Will I grab some things that we're
please do. There's so many things we've been working on. Honestly, like, it's gonna be great.
We're just having fun.
Oh, we're having a great time.
We're having fun.
We made inserts for the first orders that, you know, word searches and crosswords and just stuff around VHS here, and
we have some stickers.
Oh man, we're just having fun to,
fun sticker booklet.
Yeah,
it's like
the gizmo cracks me up.
The gizmo,
and then the
little gizmo.
But also I like the ones. Please be kind. Rewind.
Yeah, these are all done in house. These are all done by Brandon. And these are things that will change. Like, you might get this in your first order at the beginning of the year, and if you come back to 6, 8, 12 months later, it's probably going to be something different.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is we're not going to go stale. We're going to keep innovating, making it fun, because luckily that's what it's about. We're here full time to do our job, but also have fun doing it.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Because if we're having fun creating all this content, and we can only imagine how fun it will be for somebody to receive your those tapes that are graded, or cassettes, or CDs, or whatever it is, and have like just little extras. And we think that's what makes it. It makes it more than just
cash grab.
Yeah,
so that's the thing. I mean, honestly, the big thing is not to keep putting anything that we do back in and pushing it better and better.
That's the big part of it.
Yeah, and here real quick, I'll talk about a few things on the CD. So say like this CD. This is NWA and the Posse. This is a price sticker. We do remove price stickers here.
We do.
It's when they're paper stickers, we will remove them. I believe the price point's $15, and we will do our best to remove it safely. Now, sometimes I've pulled off stickers where there's a hole under it. That happens. Retail stores would try to hide a hole. So while we do our best, there is things that, like, hey, you got to be aware of. Sometimes pulling a sticker might not be the best choice. Especially, we will not pull them over vent holes, because that gets dangerous. There's a vent hole, and that's not on CDs, but on tapes.
Yeah.
This should have.
Yeah. So tapes will have in the plastic. It's an old MGMUA. There'll be small holes that you can see in this one here. It's actually been punched out, but it's not come out. And they will. It just helps the plastic on the tape itself breathe. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of in the music collecting hobby, they call them breathe holes or breath holes.
Great.
But in vent holes, whatever and we on our site we will have terminology for each hobby.
Yep.
We also will have in the upcoming weeks. That's where the articles will go. But we'll also join the newsletter. We're going to be sending out stuff. I will talk about, I'll do it after this, but we'll talk about first appearances.
Yep, first appearances. That's going to happen.
That's going to be dope.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's a fun project. But first, so the other thing to mention is this sticker right here. This is actually really cool. A lot of people, now this is what we call music. Originally, it was just called Now the Compilation. And now they're at, 80 or 90. Well, this is the first copy. And this actually says, as seen on TV, this is a retail sticker. Retail sticker.
Distribution.
Yeah, I'm messing this up.
Yeah.
Manufacturer sticker.
Yeah.
They do this at the pressing thing. They put it on to... Yeah. And that's the difference between retail and... Retail's more like price stickers.
Yeah.
Or price savings stickers. Like, sometimes they could be both, but...
Bringing it back to VHS, the 5-star collection would be a distribution sticker. But if you have a sticker on there that is just made of paper that says $19.99 from Target,
that's a good example of a price sticker.
And we're happy to remove them. We will also, if there's ever a sticker
right here
that you want removed, but we get the tape in and we see it and we think that it should remain, we'll contact you. We'll let you know, because there's certain stickers of certain tapes that they might have more significance than you first expect when you just look at it. And we want to make sure we preserve tape like as well as possible with all the information on it that it would have come out of the factory with, or if it was sent to someone, like it has all the information that gives it like these little nuances that make it different from another tape. But ultimately, if you do want something removed and you say, hey, Callum, Danny, Tracy, just take it off, we'll do that. It's your tape. We want to make you happy and give you the product that you want at the end of the day. That's kind of what it's all about.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly it. And I know we're this is supposed to be about the launch of Rewind, so we're doing both things. But with VHS, it's really important that we wanted to come in here and give the community a company they could rely on. That's someone you could communicate, and a company that could listen to you and respond with logic. right? I can't say we'll always act on every piece of information, but I promise you we're listening, and we will make changes due to outside voices. So,
and we also will accept tapes from other companies that you want graded. You can crossovers. You can send them in. We will crack them out their case and put them in our beautiful encapsulation.
And we've had fun doing that.
We've
had a lot of fun doing that.
It's been a journey with that.
Yeah,
and
safely. You know.
Oh yeah, we're very confident that all the cases that exist out there, we will be able to get in with no damage to your tape, and we will regrade it and give it its lovely new home.
Exactly, and that's the thing, is that each one of these we care about when you put it in our hands. So we take great pride and responsibility that we're doing our best.
Every tape is treated the same way. Gloves. Always gloves. Always gloves.
We have every station has pads. We really did not spare any expense on the technology and how we go about. One thing also, what we're authenticating, because it's important that the tapes out there are legit and that they are of original state and
unaltered.
Yeah,
like how somebody would have bought that back in 1979. Like, we want to make sure that what we are encapsulating is that genuine article, and we are very good. I want to say we're the best. I mean, I'm going to say,
I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think we were.
Yeah,
I mean, because this wasn't something done overnight, and this is something where we could spend our time on Earth doing anything, and we're doing this.
Yeah, exactly, and we will catch tapes that are not genuine.
We have. We could say we have, and we'll continue to. I mean, that's it's a positive thing that we're able to detect such things, and we use many different methods, and it's been great.
Yeah, and we prevent that from going out into the community. And I think that's also really important, is that when somebody, if they want to get into like the buying and selling, that they can believe and trust what they are buying and selling is genuine.
That's so important. Yeah. Like, how do you buy something and I feel horrible when you see something on a market, you're like, that's wrong. I've even seen that at different.
We've seen it.
We've seen it. I don't want to get myself in trouble, but we've seen it, and it's important for us that you see the Rewind logo, and you're like, hey, our guys are behind that. You guys, know who we are, and this isn't the only live we'll do.
Oh God, no. Yeah. We'll probably. I mean, maybe
this could be like the Truman Show, right? Like, you're gonna follow Callum home.
We're gonna start vlogging.
Yeah. We'll go get haircuts later. That'll be a great episode, right? Like, it's gonna be amazing. No, but
day in the life of Callum and Dan.
Yeah, was the Matthew McConaughey one Ed life? Ed. I don't know. There's one just like that at the same time. Woody Harrelson, and I think Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, okay.
But anyways,
who's who? You, Woody Harrelson, and Matthew McConaughey.
Dude, I definitely have to be Woody Harrelson. Yeah. Just kidding. I mean, Matthew. Yeah, you have a haircut. I don't. So no, it's important that you feel like you can reach out anytime.
Yeah.
And, I've enjoyed my experiences with other grading companies where, there's a lot of companies that, if it wasn't for the hard work they put in, there's a lot of great companies out there. We would be really honored to give them the opportunity to show you what we've been working on, and that we can grow with you. That's the thing. Like, VHS is so new that I feel like some people want it to jump into maturity, but it takes time. Even with us here now, it's going to take time.
And even just having this on your shelf, like, I like, Dan comes from the collecting background, and I'm coming from like the new collector side of things, and I just think of that person who just has their favorite tape from even the 90s, like maybe even just their favorite Disney movie, and they just want to preserve it. Like, they found a beautiful copy, and they just want it to sit on their shelf with, like, just looking beautiful and amazing. Like,
I've always imagined
preserved forever.
I imagine like someone with their TV, 3-4 movies of your favorite movies, next to each other. Graded games. Currently, we have no thing of doing graded games because there's 2 great companies out there that are doing and innovating, and I've never wanted to join a market that I felt like we're not filling a void, right?
Or if we can't add anything more.
Well, exactly. If we can't add and create additional, we're not just here to enter in something just because we can do it. So, for now, it's movies and music.
Home media.
Home media
is what we're going to stick with.
Yeah.
Certainly for the near future. And
I mean, we're
Can we
always looking
mention
at the
other home
future.
media? Can we mention it?
You're scaring me. No.
No, okay. We'll save that.
We'll
save that.
Yeah, no, but
We've already given away so much.
Yeah, this
about
is
the
so much.
future.
That's the thing. Like, everything's planned in advance. So as we're showing this, we have other stuff on the horizon, and like, if we were working on something, we have other things that we've been working on for 6 months.
Yeah.
We're always trying to work in the future, so you could always look forward to something that's coming out of Rewind. It's not, okay, now we're open, we just do the same thing every day. It's about pushing that we could do better,
Yeah.
and for more people.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're not pushing pushing the envelope,
What's the point?
what's the point? I mean, life is short. We're on this planet once.
Yeah, let's have fun and let's do what we can. You know, and I think that's hopefully that's come across like today with what we're doing right now is like our excitement. It's so hard having all these things planned that we want to do and not being able to talk about it. I want to be able to tell.
Well, it's
tell
just
everybody
hard because you never know, and this is what led to the start of Rewind and like how long it took. Is there's nothing within our control that would stop it from opening any sooner. We just beholden to other manufacturing, you know, and stuff like that. So,
but you know, everything happens for a reason, and the extra time we've had has been so valuable.
Oh, it's made a product that it's better than I ever imagined.
Yeah.
We will be releasing the grading scale guide. Did we already?
We haven't written.
We haven't written.
We have to just make sure we're not giving away some secrets.
Well, we can say, what about the website 2.0?
Yeah, well, you know, keep an eye. Keep an eye on our website. Okay. You might see some changes over the next week or two, and don't be surprised. It's still us.
We can't see who's asking a question, but whoever that is, if you have any questions about the grading scale, feel free to ask them. We're here to answer questions.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing, like, most of the grading scale we can openly talk about because it's about the consistency.
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned drill holes, 8.5 top, 3.5 stars. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know that. You know if you see a drill hole, that's the top grade you can get.
If there's plastic missing?
Oh, plastic missing, it's a 3.5.
3.5, depending how big it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
We hit plastic missing pretty hard.
Yeah, it has to be noticeable plastic missing. Not a rip, but plastic missing.
I guess we can talk about what 5-star seal would look. So 5-star plastic is something that it presents beautifully. There's no nicks, there's no tears.
Never was on a retail shelf, it looks like.
Probably. It might have some minors.
Like,
really
not noticeable,
minor,
you'll have to...
scuffing on it.
You know...
No scratches, no dents, no nothing.
Yeah, it has to be immaculate. You would think, if someone has it in their hand, it looks like, hey, this is perfect from the first glance. Yeah. So that's important at 5-star. Now 4.5 is a little bit different.
Something with a little bit more scuffs on it. Maybe there's a scratch that doesn't go through the plastic, but it's on the plastic. You can see it. You can physically see it while looking at the tape.
Yeah, and usually, you know, and that's the thing is when you start getting to the 4, you're gonna might have some corner pokes, some minor stuff. Yeah. Now. Maybe, nothing too significant.
Yeah, no plastic missing. You might have a minor break or tear.
Yeah,
just
you could have small. One or something.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the thing is when you start getting to the overall grading scale, there's less absolutes because what if you have one tear on the front but everything else is beautiful?
Yeah.
And recently, if it's very minor and it's not missing plastic, we've given that a 4.5.
Yeah, and the overall presentation also matters.
It matters, yeah. How you look at a tape. If someone gets it in their hand and goes, "This is amazing,"
yeah, yeah, then it is exactly. And if there's nothing else to bring it down, it stays up high. Yeah. And I think somebody was just asking where we were located. We're located in Valencia, in California.
Santa Clarita
City.
Yeah, it's
just
40
north.
Minutes.
Yeah, just north of LA.
Yeah,
this is where the office is based. And that's where when you send tapes, it comes directly
comes here.
to us.
We're open Monday through Friday. We do not allow people to walk in here for your safety of your tapes, but we do take deliveries Monday through Friday. We suggest not sending stuff on Saturdays, being that we're typically closed on Saturdays. So, but we're open Monday through Friday. We beautiful location, and we're actually going to probably be in a new building in 6 months.
That's the plan. Yeah.
We're already planning for that expansion, and we have a lot of plans that, honestly, every month going forward, you're going to see this grow with us.
Yeah, and we'll start doing some more sit-downs and as people come with questions, what we might do is save up a whole load of questions for a live stream. Maybe after this, if people have lots of questions and they send them in next week, or even by the end of this week on Friday, we can just have a little sit down.
Friday? I'm around.
Friday? Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, we
I'm in.
can have a sit on the couch and have a little chat.
Mario Kart. Well, it's something very typical we do in the office. So for breaks, we play Mario Kart because you know it's what better way to blow some steam off and not hate each other.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
Great.
And I usually don't win. But, you know, it's about the effort.
Yeah. So I guess back to the grading. The box. The 10 is obviously what you want to strive
We have
for.
not graded a 10.
We have not. We've seen maybe one. It was
almost hit that level. And 10 honestly is going to be a rarity.
Yeah.
10 is something that we can't find a problem.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what a 10 is.
There's
literally,
no
it's
dents. There's
and
no
manufactured
nicks.
perfectly.
Yes.
That's important because some people manufactured defects do hit the grade. Not as harshly as regular defects, but it does go into account, and definitely when it comes to a 10.
Of course, because you can get tape and it could have a manufacturing defect. There might be some glue overhanging a seam or whatever, or there might be a streak in the printing, and that can happen. Unfortunately, there's going to be a tape where that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And we always look at it and think, is there something better than this? And if it's a manufacturing defect, sometimes there is something better, but it's not going to be as harsh as if you've taken a pen and like scribbled across the front of the box. You know?
Yeah, and every 10 has to be 5 stars. That's something that another one of those absolutes that we like to put as many absolutes as we can because, you know, while we like to think we perform magic, there is rules we put out there that are very defined.
Yeah.
And so we'll talk about 9.8. 9.8 is literally you're going to think it's flawless.
Yeah, you're going to look at it. You're going to think, oh, why?
You're going to have to look for that flaw.
Yeah, and it could be a small dent in a corner. It could. A lot of the time, it's dents on the edges of the tapes.
I call those lips.
On the lips. Yeah. So you'll have a small dent in there, and that's it. There's nothing else.
If you ever get a tape and you get a 9.4, that's probably the flaw.
Yeah.
Because a common flaw for VHS is how the tapes sat against each other.
Yeah.
And then you'll get the cardboard at the edge. It's like a little half mini pipe. You know, it pushes there, and you create this lip. And a lot of times it could be as small as just a tiny bit, and we
like an inch,
and we take that in consideration for VHS because it's such a common thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's something where the soft launch where we got to tweak how we
the dented corners as well, like that again. That's something fairly common on a VHS tape. Is these bottom corners here are fairly fragile, and if there's no color break, we don't hit them that hard.
No, because it's especially when it comes to the bottom, it's almost
inevitable, really.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's where the 10 comes in, right?
Yeah.
Like you have ones that don't, but the bottom corners are 9 out of 10 times at least.
At least one of them will have some.
Well, just the natural. If it's been put in a box, it's going to happen.
Or sat on a shelf, like sitting on your shelf, it's going to damage those corners.
Yeah, I mean that's until they get in our case.
And then no more damage.
No more damage.
As if by magic. Yeah.
No, but that's really a few other things to mention. 9.4, I look at it like a museum piece. 9.4 and above is when you start getting to a piece that you're like, hey, this is something
special.
Something really. How did this? I think the first question comes in my mind when I see something 9.4. How did this survive like this?
Yeah.
And that's important. 9.0 and higher is really something great, but it might have one little flaw or some color break here.
Yeah. Maybe some more obvious damage.
Yeah.
At first glance, you might just catch a little bit of.
And an A5 is something that if you're looking like this to it, typically there's going to be damage. If you look at the size or whatever, there's some kind of damage. So there's creasing. Yeah. There's something
color break. There's a dent. There's something really obvious.
A question we ask is, does this keep it out of a 9?
Yeah.
And like how I like to grade personally. Everyone has a different thing because we do have a calculated system that we can use. I personally like grading when I go, what's the biggest damage and how does that affect the grade?
Yeah.
What's the top grade can I get because of this damage? And I have a lot of friends that work at companies that do grading and stuff like that, and to me personally, that's the best way to grade because we want to be consistent. If your thing has a crushed corner and your friend has a crushed corner, we want that to be a similar grade.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And a tape is always graded more than once. Always.
Yes.
There are at least minimum 2 grades on that tape. And the more eyes we can get in a tape, the more confident we can be in the grade. And all grades are final. We are very unlikely to not going to change our minds.
Yeah.
We are very confident in how we grade when we see a tape. You can give us comments and concerns that you might have had.
You can message out if you're really concerned. You can message, but it's very unlikely, being that.
And we can provide more information.
Yeah, that's typically what will happen. If you're really concerned, do reach out.
Yeah.
And we do put internal notes that you might not be able to see to say, hey, this is why we graded that. And that happens. Like that's what, say, like with the lip. Sometimes it's a whole side, and
sometimes you might not see it.
Yeah, and the top that's gonna get that is probably 9.2, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's somewhere around there. It's it's something that it matters how deep it is. There's a circumference to it that edge, but
and the big thing is each tape is graded individually. Yes. So we want to make sure the information that we're putting out there and the grades we're putting out there. You can look at a 9.8 of like a Star Wars tape from the early 80s, and then you can look at a 9.8 from I don't know, something from the late 90s. And they're going to look similar.
Yeah.
Like
the grading scale, what stands out.
Exactly.
It's not like school where there's that grading scale. If the top person gets a B, then that person gets an A.
Yeah.
The top grade's a B. Like, unfortunately, if the top grade out there in this world is a 9.0, that's the world we're in. Yeah. And we wish that we find the 9.8, and there's always the possibility. And that's the thing. What happens when you do find that one that's a 9.8? You can't go backwards and bring all those grades down.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, well, send them back.
Yeah,
send them back and let's redo them. To answer one of the questions, signatures.
Yes.
We will be doing signings here with actors, actresses, directors in time. We are working towards that, actually, and we hope to have something in this first half of the year. And we're going to be, when we do it, we will announce who it is and allow some time period for you to send in your tapes. And we will have Rewind certified signs. Outside unwitnessed, we will not authenticate a signature we did not witness. But if it's authenticated by one of the top, I think it's 3 or 4, JSA, Beckett, PSA, we will put it on the label. We will put it on the front of the label. We think that's really cool. And at that point, we will say that, yes, we're trusting them to say they've done a good job at it. Yeah. But also a Rewind signature is different. That means we literally have the person here. Yeah. And they probably played Mario Kart with it.
Yeah.
It's important.
And hopefully when we have those signings, they will be live streamed, or we'll
do something like this.
Yeah, I mean, we can't just be like, oh, we had Leonardo in the office.
We'll be taking pictures, doing live stream like this, hopefully letting you ask questions to the person. Yeah,
it's the authenticity part. We want everything to be genuine.
Well, exactly, and we want them to feel appreciated for the work they've done.
Connected with fans that, their first movie, like Critters 3 for Leo. Like, if he comes in and does signing of that,
perfect leeway to the first appearance. Oh. So next week we're announcing that we are working on first appearances. And we have to thank Ethan out there for... we're really working hard on that, and we are releasing a list of 10 different people that their first appearance in VHS. Yep. And we're going to put that list out. And if you submit a movie, do we have anything in the house right now? I don't think we do. No, nothing. It'll be on the front. It'll say first appearance of Leonardo DiCaprio for Critters 3. He is on the list. Yep. Leo made it.
He is the top of the list. We've just got another question. Okay, so yes, they do affect the grades. I'll just read out the question. So how are post-manufacture stickers and the dreaded magnetic strip affect grading? People are afraid to remove it. You're right to be afraid to remove those magnetic strips.
Yes, the foil.
The foil stickers, the ones that they will not come off. And
we can. The thing is, could we get them off? The answer is we could. Yeah. The problem is a lot of times the plastic looks worse because of it, especially the foil. Myself,
there's usually like a lip around where
you see the plastic, and it's Now, with that being said, 2 things to consider. Talking about that is, yes, it hits grade. Yeah. You cannot get a 5-star if it has a retail sticker, security sticker on it. We wish we could magically make that thing come off without any damage, but we can't. Yeah. unfortunately, the damage is done.
Yeah, and even when we remove stickers, if there is like a lot of the time, even if you pick up a tape that has a sticker on it, you can look around the edge and you'll see it's almost like an indentation, but it's not. And when you remove that sticker, 9 out of 10 times you can still see that. But it's going to get a better grade without the sticker with that little...
Unless it's retail. Unless it's manufacturing. Because manufacturing is part of what they wanted it to go out to the public.
Yeah.
And we grade, actually how we grade seal grade when there's manufacturing sticker, if it looks great, it's part of the thing. If there's some rub and stuff, it could affect the grade. If they want to become a grader, hit us up. You know what? We are expanding for the foreseeable future, and feel free to reach out. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah. Honestly, this was couldn't be done without the community around us. Again, Frank, thank you, Frank. Frank's been a godsend through all this. He's really been the soul of his positive goodwill. Yeah. I don't know how many people don't know Frank, but Frank, my favorite thing is you'll just randomly get a box of stuff from Frank. He just gives you for free. And it's just he's like, wants you to learn. And
look at these tapes, and they're always amazing.
He's always a positive person.
Yeah, he's such an asset to have as part of Rewind.
Yeah, and he is part of Rewind. I've had that question. Someone wants to try to say, "Oh, is he do?" I'm like, Frank works on the tapes with us now. He is remote, so it is me and Callum doing the final authentication. But Frank does work on these with us. Yeah. We go over some cool stuff with him. We do high-res photos, and part of our thing is to make sure we get 3 eyes, actually, a lot of times on it.
It is, yeah.
Right now, there's nothing that comes through here that's not finalized by not me or Callum right now. It is a somewhat smaller operation, but that means you get to blame us directly if there's a problem.
But to go back to if we're not hiring right now, but in the future, we would be looking for people who could become part of our team.
The culture.
and just keep an eye on our socials. We'll probably put some stuff up there. And just feel free to reach out and let us know that you're interested.
Yeah, signed COA. The question was signed tapes. Yes, we will put that on. I said before the front or the back, we still got to make space because sometimes there's only so much space on a label. But we will notate it if it's. But we can't just take any COA because, if my grandpa just says COA, you can make one. So it has to be by one of the reputable companies, and we'll put that on the site. And that's great. Like that's where these questions help us because, well, I've known it has to be one of the main ones. You don't know which one's the main one, so we got to put it out there, and we hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
So that's where we love the
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, these questions are great. Like this time that we spend now is so helpful for us, just showcasing what we're doing because this is our first day. Like that's
day one.
This is the day one live. When the website went live, and anybody can now submit a tape. It's fantastic. Like we've already had phone calls in the office, people asking, what's your thoughts on this tape? Have you seen this before? And we're like, hey, send them in. We want to see it. Like we love hearing about tapes that are maybe not as well known, not as big.
Every time we open up a box with tapes,
it's like Christmas.
It's like Christmas. You literally open it up and you're like, and of course we're being as delicate as possible because it's worse than if it's even my own. Yeah. It's literally very soft, and we made procedures that how we open these up, and we don't use razor blades. Right? We make sure that how we open these up is the safest way, and that we.
So we talk about packaging because a lot of the time when people send tapes,
okay.
When you ship us your tapes, we recommend you use masking tape or painter's tape.
Yeah, don't put actual shipping tape anywhere near your collectibles because
if it gets caught in the plastic, it's a challenge.
Yeah, comic book people, having that tape on that scotch tape on the top and it falls on the book and then you have a pull.
Yeah,
use masking tape and. That works better because that's not as adhesive to stick on the item. I recommend personally, you can't over bubble wrap, in my opinion.
Yeah.
When I went to junior high school, they had this thing where you dropped a package off the top of the building with the egg inside. And literally you try to package it so your egg wouldn't break. And I look at how you ship it to us, think of that. When we ship it out, we've made it so that's how we ship everything is not to break the egg.
Exactly.
And we're, even how we made this, sturdy as can be. That's why we could ship it how we ship it. But when you ship to us, safer the better. I like double boxing everything personally. Yeah. When I ship raw stuff off, I double box. That means you take a box, wrap it all up safely, close it, then put it in a bigger box with packaging around it. And that way, you don't have to worry about it. You know. Also, as a collector, this isn't part of Rewind. This is I personally use umbrella policy, so when I ship things out, I don't have to pay insurance. So
yeah, and when the tapes come in here, everything is under video surveillance. So if there's ever any issues in the future, everything is there, so we can see the whole process of the box coming in and being opened, and we also take photos of everything that comes in to the office.
Question about doubles and trilogies.
Yes.
It was in manufacturing. There was a hiccup. Some measurements didn't get pushed through after the prototype. So they did make the mold, but there was a hiccup. So down the road, that's what we're shooting for. Off the gate, we can't do doubles or triples. But we did make a beautiful case that actually... Maybe I could get doubles done. Like, it would work for doubles, but just not triples. But we had to fix the first half of the mold. And these molds are made out of blocks of steel, and that takes 12 weeks, and it's a very finalized project.
Yeah, it takes time, and it's the coming together of all these different components.
That's why they look so darn good.
Well, that's it. Like, you spend the time trying to get it perfect.
Yeah.
And we have another question. For more questions, best method to contact us, email or DMs. Email is definitely our best. You can reach us on social media, but our emails are definitely more monitored at this point. And there is a contact page on our website. You can send us information through the contact page. You can give us a call. You can email support@rewindgrading.com.
It's best to hit up the company. I have people hit me up, and that's fine. I love talking to people. But if you want a quicker response, hit up the company, because sometimes I'll be in the middle of a few things.
Yeah.
I always try to respond by end of day, but sometimes it's best just to send it to the company so they can give you a legit answer.
More questions. Other formats outside cassettes and CDs. Ooh. That's a great question, and you're going to have to wait.
Yeah. Just imagine something 12 by 12. Did I mess that up? We can't say it. Just
we're not.
What media is 12 by 12?
There's other.
There's more than one.
We are going to do more media in the future, and Dan
is an asshole.
He's not going to talk anymore about it.
Danny has to shut up. Yeah. But we have other stuff planned out, and honestly, just know we don't take any of this lightly. So when we do it, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Completion time for grading. Well, if you get in this week, I promise you will be quick.
Yep.
We cleared the back. Anything we had in soft launch, we are pretty much done with. Yep. So you send it this week. This is the best time to send it, because we are going to do it right away. I mean, honestly, we had people. We know right now. I honestly, spoiler alert, I would not do the top tier. I would do the middle tier. I know how this goes because I've graded.
Yeah.
I'd go with the middle tier. You might get it back in a week. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah. And our turnaround times are from when we receive the tape to when we ship it back. Yeah. That's really important. It's not from when you ship it, because it could take a week to get here.
And they forget to ship it.
Yeah. So it's
we ship out FedEx.
Well, everything is FedEx. We do FedEx ground for everything. Everything is insured.
To keep prices down. I know lately I've been shipping stuff through FedEx, and a lot of times like 130, 160 bucks. So we do have FedEx ground that usually gets back within about 5 to 7 days, business days, and
we've been really happy with the service. And if for any reason you do want anything, if you have the higher tier service and you want it expedited, let us know. We can work with that. For anything else, it will typically just be FedEx ground.
Also, if it's something to mention, a little off subject, but say if we have a tape that has a certain tear, you want it to be, it's always okay to put notes with your orders. I actually suggest to do that. It's something like, we have a friend that he put Post-it notes on it and be like, hey, don't forget this, watch out for the tear here when you're opening up this case. And it's important that, feel free to do that stuff. Like, we care about your tape. And also when it comes to, shipping and receiving, we're going to get stuff out to you. None of this is about building a backlog. Our thing is, we want these tapes back on your shelf.
Yeah, you want your tapes. Like, we want you to have the tapes. Like, why wouldn't we want you to have this? Like, this is we all got to submit a tape in the beginning, and it's fantastic just seeing just that one tape just sitting there on my bookshelf looking looking nice.
And to be clear, no employee finalizes their own things.
No, never.
You know,
God.
so if I get something great, example like this, it's an 8.0, and it's an 8.0. You know, it's important because it's, you know,
it's the integrity
of it all.
Also, just, I guess we're talking about it just on that note, employees pay for their grading. We don't want to discourage people from the hobby that they enjoy, but to keep the integrity, it's important that people pay for the service.
Which is pretty, you know, it's funny because learning about other companies throughout the years, I was interested that I know some of the big companies like PSA, they encourage it, and I thought that was interesting because I know other companies sometimes like, hey, we don't do it, and then people, when they see it, you know. But the important thing is no one here can finalize their thing, can have a say on it, and even like if it's my own, I'm not allowed to do it.
Look at it.
I literally like, you know, I'll leave them here and like, and even if I'm like, you know, I'm like, see you guys later. No, and that's the thing is it's good that the people that work here can enjoy the hobby too. Yeah. They're not allowed to conduct any business on the floor.
No,
that's not allowed, and not to, you know. What's my saying? Don't be a duck.
Don't be a duck.
Don't be a duck.
It is a phrase that I think I just brought over from Scotland. We adapted it for a more friendly environment.
Yes.
Just watch out for little hidden ducks everywhere. That little Easter egg. Yeah, just don't be a duck. It's literally our motto.
The culture and the you know integrity of the company is of the utmost importance, and we never want to jeopardize that with someone trying to sell a tape. Or trying to think, and that's the thing. If you know, people are not going to call you here and be like, can we buy this from you? No, that doesn't happen. As much as people think like this stuff is a sham, we're here to preserve. That's why we don't get involved with values. We let you declare the value. Yeah. Now over $1,000, it costs 2%.
Yep.
But that's your choice, right? Like we don't go, hey, it's worth $10,000 and charge you more. That's not. But also, if your tape. Something ever happens, God forbid.
Yep.
We can't say it will never happen because life happens.
Yep.
It hasn't happened yet, but if it ever happens, that's the value it is. That's it. There, you know, because it's important that we give it. We can't give one way and then pay up the other way.
Exactly.
You know, but we'll do good.
Yeah, we'll do good by you. And I think somebody was asking questions about sticker removals. We do that.
And we'll put out more of a written article about that.
Yeah.
And show examples. You know, it's what we can pull off, what we can't pull off.
Yeah.
And it's important that we don't use like Goo Gone and that kind of stuff. But we have our own
we have techniques
methods
that protect the integrity of the seal, because that's really the most important thing. When you remove a sticker, it's making sure you don't take the plastic with it.
Oh yeah, or it just makes it look better too. Yeah. Like, you know, some people use this stuff and it gets to the vent holes, it damages the tape, and you're just like, why would you ever do that? So,
also wipe tapes and clean tapes as well for you. That's also a service where we just give it a gentle cleaning with a microfiber. We had a tape in the other day that had some what looked like water spots almost, and just like a little bit of light cleaning took that right away, and the tape looks 10 times better.
Yeah, another thing, there's a question about high-end items when you're high-value items, sending them in. I suggest one thing is insurance. Now. Yeah. Personally, I go with CIS insurance. It's a collectible insurance that I pay an annual thing, and it covers me. Now, I can't guarantee at all of our work that when they lose that item, they pay. I've heard they've done great things. Yeah. I don't personally, you know, you have to make sure it's covered because if something ever happens, double box it. You know what? You will see within that morning that usually within 24 hours, all your items are checked in. We have a process that we have to go through. Yeah. Now, sometimes if something comes in at 3 p.m., you know, it's going to be the next day. Yeah. But if you're ever sending a lot, you can email us. We're here. Yeah. You know, and like we know, like, hey, you know, don't go overboard because we are busy. We don't want to just be looking what boxes are there, but. Everything's checked in within 24 hours. If there's ever damage to the box, it's important because this actually happened.
It did happen.
And it was actually
a huge hole in the center of the box.
This is actually it was a huge hole.
Yeah.
And luckily, what we did would take a picture and we filmed it. Yeah. Right. We want to make sure, like, hey, you know what happened here. You know, we took pictures of it and then we film us unboxing it to kind of be like, okay, what's the damage? And luckily. They packed it so well that nothing got damaged. I mean, it literally had a couch
Like-
about,
Like a bit of steel had tried to go through.
It
the
looked,
box.
they were trying.
Yeah.
You know what? He passed the egg test.
Yeah.
He passed
worked.
the egg test. But yeah, so what else? I mean, I don't even know how long it's been.
Yeah,
A minute? 2 minutes?
About an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, damn.
We've been crushing it.
Shit.
Yeah.
Tracy, did we miss anything?
No.
Any questions or?
We're good?
Yeah, those have been the ones.
Okay, well,
Great.
no, I mean,
I think that'll be
thank
us then.
everyone that
Yeah.
stuck along with us and
We
waited
appreciate
this
it.
long. Thank you,
Yeah.
because honestly, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
Yeah.
It has to be fun and it has to be
That's it.
positive. You know, we want to be a positive on the community
Yep.
and everything we do. And to me, that's really important. I've loved collectibles for close to 30 years of my life, and I continue to love it every day.
Yep.
And we want to show that in everything we do. So if ever want to reach out, talk, or even just, shoot the shit.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. DM us, email us. We'll be available. Send in your tapes. It's
Yeah.
happening. We're here.
It's here.
We're not going anywhere now.
Yeah, day forever. And that's the thing also is Friday we'll come back on.
Yep.
Friday we'll come
Friday.
back on. If you have questions, send them over.
Yep.
We can answer some more probably around the same time.
Yep.
There's one more question we're going to answer in just a moment before we jump off.
Yeah, and then
See what that is.
We can
Get to work. We have
yeah.
tapes here
We-
now.
We do have tapes.
We did have drop off, so
Yeah.
we'll get to work and it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And I really look forward to. We know there's some tapes that are out there already. Those were part of the soft launch. We've seen questions about that.
Yeah.
We invited friends of the companies to get through it, so there is tapes out there, and
Yeah.
that's what happened. We tried to get that feedback. It's important that we improve.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
So important.
I'd feel bad for everyone if we just opened up like not going through those trial and
we
errors.
were 2 months ago. It's the progress has been fantastic, and the journey that we're on. And as we said way back in the beginning, this is not the end.
No.
Like, this is literally just the beginning of Rewind and what we can offer. Like, this is just the beginning. This
As
is
awesome as it looks, and I can't wait till you have it in hand.
Oh,
Like it
so
feels.
nice.
This seam is it's everything I could ever
Yeah.
wish it to be. And
Yeah.
I really mean that as a collector because it's important that it just I love these cases.
Yeah. Yeah.
Judgment-free grading. So if you
Always.
send something in, honestly, it does go in relatively blind when it comes
Pretty
to the
much.
grading test
Yeah.
thing. So honestly, like I remember yesterday, like we'll be there and it is like the grading scale is the grading scale. That's it. Like that's the trick. There's no trick to that. Like an 8.0 should be an 8.0. It's not like, oh, we like someone so we change the
Yeah.
grade. And honestly,
That ruins the integrity of the whole thing.
yeah, that'd be a duck.
Yeah.
That would definitely be a duck.
That'd be a duck move.
Yeah, duck move. So
we don't do that here.
But no, thank you all. Honestly, thank you. I look forward to keep
Yeah.
doing what we get to do every day.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other life that I'd rather live than right here, right now, doing this with you guys. And
Yeah.
honestly, we look forward to making VHS a better community every day.
Yeah.
And feel free to reach out.
Definitely.
And
Have a great day. Yeah.
rewindgrading.com.
Go check
Yeah.
it out. Thank you.
Thanks.